Hi, I'm Adam. I'm here with my friend Gus on camera at the 2018 Pacific Northwest Lens Summit in beautiful Portland, Oregon. We're going to go meet with the biggest cinema lens manufacturers in the world, talking about vintage lenses, new technologies, and innovations for large format. Let's go check it out. We're here with the Honorable Matthew DUCLOS. What do you do exactly?
Our base operation always has been, always will be lens service and repair. So maintenance of motion picture lenses, repair of them, modification, and then sales of modern, new lenses has always been our backup business. Secondary, I'd say.
What about customization?
Customization we do to an extent. That's always been a tricky business because what some people expect out of lenses just isn't realistic. But customizing more general, we do what we call our CineMod. So we'll take still photo lenses and modify them for motion picture use. We add common gears, common front diameters, declick the aperture.
What are the most recent lenses that you've made that kind of a modification to?
I guess the most recent would be some of the Zeiss Milvis lenses. Those are pretty popular right now. In terms of popularity, we see tons of vintage lenses, Leica R's, Nikon AIS, Zeiss Contacts, all of those. They come from all over the world, and we modify those. I mean, being in Los Angeles alone helps a lot. So the service work that we do, we cooperate with all of the manufacturers. All of them are partners of ours. We get factory parts as often as possible, factory glass, all of the support that we could want, we get from manufacturers. For the really, really exotic, difficult repairs, if you're talking about making new parts, the location that we're in is really helpful because we have a lot of machine shops around us, so we can just pick and choose what machine shop works best for a specific product.
So we could bring you like a 60-year-old anamorphic that had missing screws and some alignment problems, and you would take that, tear it apart, and put it back together?
Pretty much, yeah. Complete tear down, reassembly, all new grease, collimation, calibration, everything, the works.
Do you have any advice about lens care for people, especially ACs working in the field, cleaning lenses, and just like on-set lens care?
That's, I could go on all day about that. So I do a lot of teaching of that exact topic at schools, film schools. And usually the biggest topic that I try to drive home is, everyone tries to clean their lenses in the field. They try to wipe it with a microfiber or lens tissue and Pancro, and just the less you touch the lens itself, the element itself, the better. Every time you touch a lens, you're going to risk scratching it. So air, use compressed air, use a rocket blower, that sort of thing. Always dust the lens first. Yep, exactly. Otherwise, you're just creating sandpaper. So do you come across a lot of scratches? Because it's my understanding that the coatings on the lens are often stronger than the glass. Like the coatings are pretty tough, but you must see a few scratches here and there. That's one of the primary reasons lenses get sent in, especially from all our rental house customers. The lens may be fine, and in fact the scratch may be what we consider cosmetic, but from a rental house perspective, that's going to lose them money. If the lens doesn't look as good as it can, that's not a rentable lens. So we do a lot of replacement elements, like I said, with factory parts. If it's an old lens where we can't get a replacement part, we can polish the coatings off and then recoat it. So we do the polishing in-house, and then we send out to several partners that we have that will do brand new. We can really tune it. We can get vintage single layer coatings that sort of replicate vintage lenses, or we can do a nice modern multi-coating that really cuts down on reflections. So when were you the ones who were rehousing the Baltars? We did the original PL conversion. So back in the mid-2000s, Harris Savides wanted to shoot a project on Super Baltars, and at the time you could only find them in BNCR mount. That's just what they were made in, or what they were delivered in. And so he brought us a couple of sets and said, can you do a PL conversion? And we did that for him, and he showed a couple friends, and we did them for them, then they showed their friends, and eventually that was a pretty successful conversion. But I wouldn't consider it a complete rehousing. You've influenced a lot of the people who are rehousing lenses now and probably set a really high standard for lens repair and rehousing technology, right? Yeah, when we did the conversion, it was sort of a means to an end. They wanted to just get the lens on a specific camera, and then these newer companies just sort of took it to the next level.
Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
We were going to be showing our new 1.7 expander, but FedEx decided we didn't need that today. So eventually, probably around Cine Gear, we'll have that. But it falls right in line with our 1.4 extender and our 2x extender, but specifically to bring the Super 35 lenses to full frame cameras. So 8K Monstro, VistaVision, the Venice, LF, all that.
Oh, great. So that's going to be a tool for people to be using older lenses on these newer large format cameras.
Exactly. You may see in the next year or so that lens manufacturers start making larger format lenses, especially zooms for the larger format cameras. Going backwards using vintage zooms, this is a perfect way to get that look that you want from your vintage zoom on a full frame sensor.
Well, Matthew, thank you for your time.
Anytime.
Yeah, you do great work. It's an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks.